Yo, what's up guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Underdog Eats on the Views and I watched the Marvels. I actually wasn't very excited to watch this one. Tagline, higher, further, faster, together. Exciting news also. Today we're gonna start with a new show called Adventure Time, Fiona and Cake. So if you're a big fan of Adventure Time, maybe subscribe to the channel. First episode is I'm gonna drop today, and then we're gonna watch every day an episode. But it's a very short show. I think it has only 10 episodes or something like that. So, it's short, but I'm very excited for that one. That said, let's just start with the Marvels. I think we see a planet, but it's, when we later in the movie, it can be a sun that's almost dead. But let's say we see a planet and we see some ships flying by. They go with a kind of a those hexagons, they go through that, like with a kind of a hyper jump, towards towards to a moon or a different planet where it's being drilled on. They pull something big out of that hole, and the leader with the leader taps it with was it Ronan that had that big with Guardians of the Galaxy, with that big ass hammer. So Ronan with the Ronan type hammer, she taps it and it crumbles away, basically. And immediately she goes on her knees, rolls up her sleeves and goes through the debris. And out she gets a bracelet that is Miss Marvel style. But we can leave that, because if you don't know what's gonna happen next, watch the movie yourself. I thought that the movie would be worse, but it was still not great. Sorry. There are a few things that are confusing me, like how is Monica that old already? Because in Captain Marvel she was just a little girl of, how old was she? Maybe, I don't know how 10-year-olds look like. So let's say she was age of 10 or 12. And now she's a grown-up. But she was also part of the blip. But with the blip you don't age if you get blipped, which she was. So how long was Captain Marvel gone? Because it couldn't be it couldn't be 10 years. Because she looks just, this basically the same. She doesn't look older. I don't know if she grows older slower, if she ages slower, but she just looks the same. So it couldn't been have 10 years. But and Monica has powers now. what the fuck is going on? It doesn't make really sense to me. Um, I'm also, I'm also not a big fan of the way that they were talking on Atletna, because the way they're talking is singing, and if you talk, they don't know what you're saying, so you have to sing all the time. Luckily, the leader there, or the king or the prince or whatever he is, he was bilingual, so he could just normally talk. But not a big fan of that. Miss Marvel was just a bit, not a bitch, but a bit too much of a fangirl. She was fangirling all over Captain Marvel, and I get it, you meet your hero, she idolizes Captain Marvel, I get it, but she was really fangirling over her, and Captain Marvel herself, she had a bit of an ego, a big ego, which they both recognized later in the movie for, okay, I should have given you a bit more space as you're a normal human, and she was like, whatever Captain Marvel said, so they both recognized their own flaws. Apparently Goose, the cat with the tentacle out of his mouth, he's a naked pointed teeth, it was pregnant, and it laid eggs, and out of those eggs came kittens, which were so adorable. But those kittens, they all had also tentacles. Just like Goose, when they eat the whole tentacle out of the mouth, It's so fucking cute. I like cats. I like dogs. But if I have to have a pet, I rather have a cat because I don't have the time to take my dog outside. To because I work 32 hours a week, so I don't have time to take my dog outside and do their business 3 times a day. I don't have time for that, because I can't go from work to home just to walk my dog. And cats, you just put a litter box there. And they do their business, they know what to do, it's easier, and they're more lazy, so dogs need a lot of attention, which I don't mind, but if you are 32 hours a week away from home, because you have to work and you live alone at home, then having a dog is maybe not the best option. I would say that, But, but I wouldn't want also one of those kind of kittens, that came from Goose, because those will probably eat everything in your home, if you're not home. Because one of the kittens ate a desk. Yeah, I'd rather keep my furniture, Overall, this movie was rather alright, or maybe okay, like I said, some things didn't make sense. I did like that Goose came back. I did like some aspects of the movie, but and it's also very important that you watch first Miss Marvel before you watch the Marvels, because there's a lot of things that that come back from Miss Marvel in the Marvels, so it's rather important. I will give this movie a 3 out of 5. Yes, 3 out of 5. Go watch it yourself. Leave likes, recommend a good hero, anti-hero, anti-villain, and anti-hero movie down below in the comment section that's not related to Marvel or DC. Subscribe to the channel. Come join Discord. And I'll see you guys later for Terror Vision and Adventure Time. Fiona and Cake. Terror Vision will get at the end of the day, and Fiona and Cake will get maybe around 4. Yeah, maybe around 4. So if you want to see those, subscribe to the channel, leave likes. I'll see you guys tomorrow for episode 2 of Adventure Time, Fiona and Cake. Madam Web. And maybe a second movie also. We'll see tomorrow. But I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.